morning. My name is Alexis. I'm a second-year Master's of Public Health Nutrition and Dietetics student. I'm obviously coming to you live from my house, but I'm super excited to be taking over the Dalwana School of Public Health Instagram account. I'll obviously be sharing some healthy tips along the way, but I'm also really excited to just talk about, how I got here and my thoughts and opinions on public health, the current environment right now with everything going on, and what it's been like to be completing a placement in the food and beverage industry. So I'm actually completing my last dietetic internship within the food and beverage industry, and today's my last day, so it's super exciting. But I did want to share kind of what I'm doing today to wrap up my projects and whatnot. So every Friday of each month, the marketers come together and they do something called First Friday, and it's a really cool opportunity to share, what's going on in the marketing world, to inform and discuss the team on the current events, and what the different brands are doing to. So I thought I would use a little bit of time to explain, some of my projects and what I'm currently doing. So obviously my last few weeks of placement have changed because of COVID-19, but for those of you who don't know, I'm studying to become a registered dietitian and doing my Master's of Public Health, so it's combined. And as part of the training to become a dietitian, you do internships in different areas of dietetic practice. So right now, like I mentioned, I'm in industry, and some of the projects that I've been working on was I did an employee corporate wellness initiative, Lunch and Learn, on social media and our impact on our food choices. And that was a really cool experience. I also recently did something called an informed nutrition session. So essentially, I gave a lay of the land on a nutrition hot topic to a business team. I specifically presented to the ice creams business and to the part of the foods team. And what I talked about was sustainable diets and sustainable food systems, really incorporating that research from the Eat Lancet Commission. And from a professional standpoint, I've really had to learn how to communicate with different forms of technology. I've never presented to 20 people on a Skype call, so that was actually a great learning experience. And then one of my other projects was running Nutrition Month. Some of you may or may not know, March is Nutrition Month, despite the fact that, maybe you haven't been hearing a lot about it this year. We have a great theme. It's called More Than Food, and it was developed by the Dietitians of Canada. So one of my projects was really getting employees engaged and interacting with each other during the month of March on our internal Facebook hub called Workplace. So we did like mindful eating challenges and team lunches and things like that. Unfortunately, we couldn't do our kind of cooking class to use this as an opportunity to really engage with employees by providing nutrition education, relevant and evidence-based information with everyone on that hub that I told you is really important. So I'm going to work on some placement work, but after lunch I'm going to share some healthy tips in terms of healthy eating and highlight some specific vitamins and minerals that won't necessarily boost your immune system, but will support your immune system. I'm really looking forward to it. Hi again. So what some of you may or may not know is I'm really into food photography, but I never learned how to use like a DSLR camera, so I just taught myself over the past couple of years. So I'm about to have my lunch. I'll show you what that looks like in the next. So this is my lunch for today. It's simply a mix of frozen vegetables, an egg, can of tuna, and just whatever fresh vegetables I have left in my fridge. Healthy eating really doesn't need to be complicated during this time. Totally used canned goods or frozen vegetables as well. There's nothing wrong with that. I really liked canned fish as well, just as a source of protein and healthy fat. And then I added an egg as well. Adjusting the ISO, so that's how much light gets into the actual lens. And I'm going to adjust the f-stop as well. Alright, so now I want to kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about this whole notion around immunity and immune boosting foods. So right off the bat, I'll just say that there's no evidence to suggest or support that one particular food, vitamin, mineral, herbal supplement can boost your immune system to the point of immunity from the virus. There's just not. However, there is evidence and there are foods that can help to support your immune system. And I think it'll be easier if I type them out and just give you some examples in the next few stories. But that's just a really important distinction that I just wanted to kind of clear the air and discuss right off the bat. So that was just a very simplified explanation of just some of those key vitamins and minerals that play a role in your immune system, and supporting it and maintaining your health and well-being. I do want to mention though that, your overall health has a lot more to do than just what you eat, but also, your sleep habits. So your sleep hygiene, for example, making sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, physical activity, having a support network. As much as I advocate for obviously nutrition and healthy eating, and that's something, I practice what I preach, and I went into nutrition dietetics because I'm passionate about food and nutrition, I do want to just mention that there's a lot more to it than just the food aspect of it. And so what I like to do is just share my thoughts on nutrition and eating from like a public health perspective, knowing and keeping in mind like those social determinants of health. So I just took a very, very safe trip to the post office to return my laptop. So I'm officially done my placement. A little bit anticlimactic, but nonetheless very rewarding. So I'm going to take a break from Instagram. I'm going to go have dinner with my family, do some stuff just for school that I have to do before the end of the night. But I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have for me. I know, I couldn't talk about everything under the sun, even though if you've met me, you know that I can. I love talking about nutrition. I love helping people, and, whether or not we know each other, I'm happy to discuss stuff with you. Obviously that's within my scope. So I'm going